here to warn people. You keep telling me to shut up. This isn't a game.
From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
Corey in Colorado, you're on the air. I've now exposed myself, sir. Actual Homeland Security training video. What'd you think?
Well, I did have a topic picked out, but after I saw that, I was just like, I don't know. But anyway, I was just calling because, I mean, it's not rocket science, what you got to do in this country to get it back. It's proven that Obama really don't care. The thing I'm calling about is how dumbed down the people are.
That's a little racist, by the way, to criticize Obama.
Call it as it is. I used to live up in the mountains. I was forced down to live in the city for a while. I no longer go to the zoo. I go to the local supermarket. To see these people act the way they do is unreal. It's crazy. And I'm dumbfounded by it, with all the evidence out there. And these people just don't see it. Now, as for the cops and the firemen, it's clearly chemical imbalance, I think. They need to get off the GMOs, get off all that stuff.
Well, no, that's why people are acting so weird, is we're dying of cancer, mental illness is up. I mean, we are poisoned, and then the system poses as the saviors while they're poisoning us. I mean, it's very, very simple, and then things only get worse. So you're absolutely right, and it's just getting crazier and crazier. So I think everybody should just go to the grocery store and stick warning labels on all the chewing gum. I mean all of it's got aspartame. Good luck finding it that doesn't. And that's really going to be the answer to all this, is just all of us getting aggressive. It'll feel weird the first time you go to the supermarket and are sticking stickers on things or sticking InfoWars magazines inside the newspaper racks or whatever, but it will drive the enemy insane. It's like people all went into Subways and started freaking out on them. Why is there plastic in here banned worldwide? People are having a normal response. And I'll never forget, there was a case in Missouri or Tennessee. It was like 10 years ago. There's been a bunch of these. And they had the 11th, well, the girls were 11 years old, whatever that is, 8th grade or whatever it was, 7th grade basketball team. And they had cameras in the showers for their safety that was watched by the, quote, staff at the field house. Well, other girls from another town who hadn't been conditioned freaked out when they saw cameras. The dads all got mad. There was almost a fight with the police. And then the principal came out and said, well, this is normal. There could be theft or problems in the showers. And then it turned out Sacramento was doing it in California. But it was the girls had the normal response. There's a camera in the shower. You see, we have to have the normal response that, man, our cancer rates are exploding. And, man, Diet Coke's on record making people go blind. You know, we've got to get around to understanding this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay. I agree with you totally, Alex. And it's very stupid out there. I mean, people are not waking up with all the evidence out there. I actually got kicked out of my house for what I believe in. She actually wrote you down in a report to the judge that I listened to Alex Jones, and I think the government's poisonous.
Oh, my gosh, how evil. So what, your wife got you kicked out because you're, you listen to the show?
My girl has a motto, why die by your own hands? And she's referring to the poisons in the food, my 8-year-old. Okay, she tries to educate her mother. Mother blows it off. But anyway, I'm getting to that, and I'm taking care of it. But I'm just dumbfounded by the people. All the evidence out there, it's clear as day.
So your wife used it as evidence in court of your thought crime that you listened to a show that's in the top 10 in things like Talkers Magazine. I mean, we're award-winning broadcast, on record. Everything we've been talking about's come true, has been documented, and she still is in her own world believing that this is some type of evil broadcast?
Exactly. And you know what? My little girls cried when I told them they're not going to have McDonald's anymore. They literally cried. They don't
well, that sounds like, you're a bad father. You don't want to give them plastic emulsifiers? I mean, what is your problem?
Better watch out, because I give them Nason-iodine too. So,
oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Folks, I want to apologize right now for hearing this extremist. I appreciate your call. God bless you, extremist. This is incredible. I mean, actually, I go on road trips sometimes, and all there is McDonald's. And I think I ate some 4 years ago and got a huge headache, close to a migraine. And then I started thinking back, the times I've had migraine headaches is when I've been eating fast food. which I had, like in 10 years, I've done like probably 10 times. But it was sometime about a year ago, I was on a road trip, and I ate Sonicers. Yeah, and I mean, I felt like I'd been run over by a car. And I'll go in Chinese food restaurants, and I'll go, listen, I don't want MSG. They go, no MSG. And I'll go, now listen. And the food comes out, and I can stick a fork in it. I can taste it. It has that, it's like, I'm not eating this. They go, oh, sorry. Then they'll go back and cook it without it because, the chef's back there slinging it on the food. And I do that because the meat's been frozen. I'd rather taste frozen meat, okay? If I'm out on the road somewhere, the frozen meat taste, than eat this stuff developed by the Japanese military in World War I to make people eat rotten meat, okay? I don't want it eating my brain. It kills brain cells. It's worse than Jack Daniels, folks, for your family. I mean, I love how they got all these toxic substances like alcohol that's okay, but then they'll take something, 20 times worse and push it on people like, I'm just ranting. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. It just makes me want to go crazy. Clarence in Oklahoma. Go ahead, sir. Thanks for holding. And we'll go to Jonathan, Dave, and Thomas. Go ahead. You're on the air, Clarence.
God bless you and your team and your family and everything that you guys do. Two things real quick is a couple of Oath Keepers up here in Oklahoma. We sent a letter out to all 77 sheriffs here in Oklahoma, and the whopping response is 10. Only 10 replied. Actually, 11 replied, and only 10 of them were good responses, and I would like to get a shout-out to those sheriffs that replied and said, no, they're not going to take our guns. No, they're not going to haul us off to the FEMA camps or help the federal government in any way doing their awesome, patriotic duties that they do with the Gestapo. The NSA.
Well, who were some of the sheriffs up there that responded to your letter, actually talked to a slave?
Let's see. We had Pawnee County was one of the sheriffs. I believe Cleveland County was one of them. I don't have all the information here. I'm going to send it to Show Tips, InfoWars Show Tips. Yeah, tell us. So what's the name of your group? Or you just sent a letter to them and they responded? Well, we're part of Oath Keepers, and the Oath Keepers here in Oklahoma wanted to send a letter out to all 77 sheriffs, and we also sent them the Sheriff's MacBook, and to see what our
No,
sheriffs
that's good. Have that conversation with them. Alex Jones here with a very important announcement for truth seekers. We've carried a lot of amazing films and books over the years on the online video bookstore at Infowars.com. And out of all the titles we've carried, one stands out because it is just so chillingly convincing. And that's Dreams from My Real Father by Joel Gilbert, available at Infowars.com. This film exposes the fraud that Obama is like nothing I've seen. If you want to know who Obama's real daddy is, this is the film for you. Don't forget, your purchase supports our broadcast and our growing media network. You'll also find at InfoWarsShop.com, None Dare Call a Conspiracy by Gary Allen, the book that woke me up. We're also carrying Behind the Green Mask, UN Agenda 21 by Rosa Corey. This book is coffin nails to the globalist takeover. The Greater Good, the most professional and up-to-date film I've ever seen exposing the scourge that is vaccines. These titles and a lot more are all available at InfoWarsShop.com. Clarence, I heard about Oath Keepers doing this all over the country. That's good to engage the police, engage the sheriffs, try to see if they're going to stand with America or with the tyranny. Any other points you'd like to add?
The second point was, gentlemen, if you're not taking male vitality, you're definitely missing out. In fact, don't take it because that's more for me.
I'm glad listeners are plugging it, but seriously, because I forgot to plug this hour, that's how we fund ourselves. I got with Dr. Group and others, and I said, I want the most souped up, concentrated, raw, from wet herbs, not dry, new, organic, and it took 6 months to get the material together and to then purify it and to do all this, and it is dynamite to the point of I can't even take it every day or I'll run around screaming. What has Super Male Vitality done for you, brother?
I'm telling you, it energizes you, and you know what it does. It just it fires you up, and you're just bouncing off the walls, And my wife's just like, you have to take that stuff today because it kind of drives her crazy too. But
you know what Beavis says? Boing. Sorry.
Oh, brother, I tell you, it's.
What'd your wife say about it?
Oh, she loves it. It's it's great. I'm telling you, like I said, Jeff, if you're not taking it, just don't, because that's more for me. So, but I mean, just to go back to the police thing real quick, because I went to I stopped at a gas station and I saw 4 highway patrols sitting at a table, and I, whipped out my wallet and had some Oath Keeper cards, and I handed each 4 of those gentlemen that card, and I said, gentlemen, I appreciate what you do, and thank you for your service. So there may become a time where you're going to have to uphold your constitutional oath. And I just left it at that, and I turned and walked away from the table. Well, the gentleman that I was with, or the gentleman I was with, we were headed back to Tulsa, they looked at me and said, "Oh, you're just kissing that cop's butt." I said, "Look, guys," I said, "there's going to be a day when those guys are going to be knocking down doors." I said, "We want those guys on our side." So if you
that's right. We don't want them dead in the Civil War while the globalists sit overseas laughing at us. Very well said, brother. I'm going to jump to Dave in Colorado, then Jonathan in Overdrive, and Thomas and Kenny. Dave in Colorado, what's your whistleblower story? Thanks for calling.
Oh, hi, Alex. It's nice to hear your voice again over my telephone.
Yeah, tell us your story.
What's that?
Tell us your story.
Okay. Many years ago, I worked for a county up in Oregon, actually for Portland, Oregon, and I was part of an investigation team that investigated cases of death and injury to disabled persons with severe and persistent mental illness. And I investigated a case where it turned out that my office and elements in my office were responsible for the death of one of these people. And I had to file my report, and I was told many times not to do so. I ended up filing that report, and I had a lot of recrimination against me, and I really learned a lot going through the entire judicial proceeding of that.
All right, finish up, Dave. So what ended up happening when you blew the whistle on the corruption?
Well, it all turned out well for me. The county board of directors decided that it was better to settle with me, and I was eventually able to take the settlement money and eventually was able to get my advanced degree and end up worked for the Smithsonian and worked for Amnesty International and had a number of amazing experiences in Washington, D.C.
Well, see, you did the right thing. Amazing. God bless you. I figured it was going to end up good. It usually ends up good when you do the right thing. It's usually rough for a while, and then just doors open up. So many times I've refused to bow. I've refused to be intimidated. I've refused, and I've stepped across the line, and just every time the doors just open. Every time. It just gets better. The worse they persecute us, the more God opens the doors for us. But there may be a final physical price, and God knows I'm ready. So if God be with us, who can be against us? It's all in God's plan. Let's talk to Jonathan in Florida. Thanks for holding her on the air.
Alex, thank you so much for spreading the good word. God bless you.
God bless you, my friend.
Okay, we have 3 full nuclear meltdowns right now in Fukushima. Reactor 3 contained 89
That's a conspiracy. It's good for you.
Oh, of course, yes. The plutonium MOX.
It's preposterous that it might be bad. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I know. You're right, because it would only take 700 grams dispersed in the atmosphere to overdose 7 billion civilians, according to the CCNR, and up to 80 million grams were dispersed. That's enough to overdose every single person on the planet over 100,000 times.
But what's wrong with dying? It gives the Earth over to the elite.
Well, the elite can't run from this. No one can run from this. The plutonium has the highest...
But their father likes death. I mean...
Well, then they're going to get what they've been asking for.
Beelzebub is nice. God bless you. Good points. Hey, by the way, I didn't cover this today. It's huge. It's up on Infowars.com. It's a blurb by Washington's blog. We should all write about this. This should be on the nightly news tonight. I'm going to do a couple special reports for the Nightly News. I think I'm going to do one on this tonight. Spy agency engaged in internet false flag attacks. NBC News reports what I've already told you. Almost all the cyber attacks and stuff you see and credit cards being released is the government doing it to then claim they need more funding and power. And it's now in a new Snowden document, one reason they're so mad. A new report from NBC News confirms, quote, that the federal government, through cybersecurity, launched their own false flag operations and then blamed it on their enemies as part of an excuse to take over. Boom, NBC News. We're right again. We're right again. I mean, look, if you can think they're doing it, they're doing it. That's how evil works, okay? God gave you a noggin and all that gray matter slopping around up there so you could actually know what's going on the planet. And this is the type of stuff they do. War on Anonymous, British spies attacked hackers, Snowden doc show. And that's just NBC getting into that one angle. The big angle is that they launched attacks and then blamed it on other hackers. They launched Stuxnet, for heaven's sakes, and then used it to say we need cybersecurity when they launched it. Due to Stuxnet, we need to totally have backdoors and everything so we can really hack and screw things up. I mean, help everyone. It's so illegal what Greenwald's doing, telling us about the data we stole. Why, he's got stolen data. We stole illegally. Outrageous. Arrest that man. The facts are in. The studies are legion. Sodium fluoride and other members of the fluorine family that are added to Western water supplies are devastating the health and cognitive ability of the people that drink it. So the question is, why are the social engineers adding it to the water? Simple. Dumb down the host population that the parasitic technocracy is feeding on. We developed Fluoride Shield to be the highest quality, highest standards because I use it every day and my family uses it every single day. Let's take a closer look at the ingredients that make up this special proprietary formula. Tamarind has been celebrated for its ability to immobilize toxic fluoride residues, while zeolites have a long history of attracting and holding toxic compounds. Enter fulvic acid, an excellent cleansing agent. Then we added the highest quality shilajit, a rare compound that is collected from the high mountains of the Himalayas. We topped it all off with the powerhouse herb cilantro that is intended to mobilize fluoride and other dangerous compounds for removal from the body. And the final touch to energize this formula is our proprietary nascent iodine. And as always, consult your physician as well because that is important. And finally, Fluoride Shield, Survival Shield, and all the products at InfoWarsLife.com grew out of my quest to try to find the very best compounds from God's cornucopia to protect myself and my family. And from our research, I believe we are bringing you the best, highest quality products. And you have that commitment from Alex Jones and the entire InfoWars crew.